So the P5X 2.0 live stream just ended, and it's a massive stream. It's almost 2 hours long, and they reviewed a lot of things. And in my opinion, it's definitely the best live stream and the biggest update yet. So in this video, I'll do my best to summarize it because it is a lot of things. So the first major thing that's coming is the update. The story update, I mean. We're getting the third palace. And the third palace is actually going to be divided into 4 phases. Update 2.0 is going to be the first phase, then we're going to have 3 phases later on. So this update is of course also introducing the new character Win or Riko Tanemura, who is a new party member, a free character that you'll get. And you also get chord, which we'll touch on later on in the video. So in the stream they did talk a little bit about the story, which I won't talk about in this video just in case some of you wanted to avoid the story. But anyways, let's talk about the new character Riko Tanemura, or codename Win. So she's basically a navigator, a free 4-star navigator who can do a bunch of damage increase and a defense debuff, so you can basically just hit more damage with Win. And she also has the ability to increase the amount of down points you can reduce, which will allow you to knock down the enemies quicker. The down point is basically like the green shield thing that the opponents have, and you need to remove that in order to knock it down and then do all-out attack. She also can increase the damage of 1 more and all-out attack, so she's going to be really useful in Velvet Trials. More interesting about her character is that she scales on speed, which means the higher the speed, the more defense debuff, the more damage buff you can get. And sadly, I don't think she got any buff from the global version, or at least they didn't mention that in the stream. And you actually don't need weakness to reduce the down points. If it's a weakness, you reduce it by 2. So she really is going to be good for Velvet Trials to help you get more stars, and then you can get more of the Stardust thing. And then we also have new areas in mementos, so more exploration to do, which also means more gems to take. And the palace also will give us a bunch of pools also, so the new update is going to give us a bunch of gems, a lot of rewards, so it's going to be exciting. And definitely a good time to start the game. Then one, I guess, minor change is that they actually changed how the level scaling works. In the Chinese version, the level scaling is based on your player character, but in the global version, they changed it to a fixed level. Don't know what's the fixed level because they never say, but according to them, they change it so that it makes it feel like we have some sort of progression or some sort of growth. Because if the enemy always scales to you, it's gonna always be difficult. That's their logic, which I guess makes sense. And then we also have a new area, Kichijoji. If you play Persona 5 Royal, then you're probably familiar with it. And new area comes with new part-time jobs, new activities to do. So hopefully we can get more stats or more choices, more events, so it's going to be more fun, and of course more stuff to buy and hopefully more gifts to give. There's also the gachapon, more gachapon if you're into that. I personally haven't really touched this at all. The only time I touched it was during the tutorial, so only one time. There are also new NPCs in the game. No idea who these are, but that's exciting because more story is always fun to have. Then the next big thing is Chord, our new 5-star character. She is a 5-star strategist who has a lot of stuff that revolves around highlights. And people are not wrong when they say that she's a very strong character, because she is very strong. So the most important thing about Kid is the ability to use highlight twice in a row, because you can do that with a skill 3. And not just reuse the highlight that you use the second time gets the buff, so you can do more damage. Total of the highlight, she also gave a bunch of damage buff, attack buff. It's basically a character that can be put in any team, because damage buff, we all want damage buff, right? So highlight also gives some damage buff. And you can also increase the highlight gauge also. So basically a bunch of things that revolve around highlight, which is like the most important part in a battle, because that's the most powerful asset. And as for a 5-star weapon, her 5-star weapon is really good, because you can get 40% highlight gauge at the start of battle. And if you're the prosperity set, it's going to be 65%, so that's crazy. And then she actually got a small buff in global, which is surprising, and I didn't think they would buff it, but there is 2 buffs. Skill 1 has a chance to shock because it's an attacking move. Then skill 2, they just buff the number slightly higher. They can buff more attack. It's small, but a buff is still a buff. Then Ayaka synergy, you can now unlock it to 20, so you can either choose to romance her or be friends with her. That's up to you. Then new music in the band, which is Wonderlight, which is basically just Chord's own song, which is a great song by the way, if you haven't listened to it yet. And then we have a new feature called the Task, which is basically just characters go to work and then they give you rewards. And there's also some sort of limited edition task that happens in a limited time that can give you more rewards. And then on top of just regular, like a bit of gems, a bit of materials, you also have a weekly one that gives you cognitite shards. And this cognitite shard thing, when you have 60 of them, you can pick a 5-star character, including some of the limited characters, which is huge. And you also get 2 gold cards per week if you do the task, which you should do because it's free pool. So when you have 60 cognitite shards, you can exchange for a 5-star. And this isn't just standard, some limited ones are also included, including Yui, Marion and Joker, which is huge. Because this is their way to fix the error where Marion is not in the business plan, and this is actually even better because you actually get to choose Yui and Joker also if you don't want Marion for some reason. They also plan to add more characters in the future, so they also introduce extra levels beyond level 80, and it's called super levels. So when you increase the super level, you get a schema point. Then you can use that schema point to upgrade Wonder further. So you have an extra tile here, which you can upgrade the new schema point, this one, and you can basically just increase the stats. I don't know if there's a limit to this, but it's nice to upgrade it. At least you have more stuff to chase after level 80. And according to them, it's easier to level up super levels compared to leveling up level 70 to level 80. So they added 4 regular cards and 3 space cards. And the cards gives the buffs to like navigators, blast damage and psychic damage. And now we get to the very interesting and important stuff, which is about the rewards. So we're actually getting more rewards. Usually we get 600. This time we get 1000. 400 gems more, which is really nice of them. I'm surprised we actually get this. And on top of that, we get 60 free Kongi Tai shards, which means when the update drops and we log in, you can get a free Marion, or free Yui or free Joker, whoever you want. That is free, which is really, really nice. Then there's some sort of new puzzle event stuff, which you can play and get some rewards. Then again, more events. So basically this event, I don't want to go into specifics because these are just events, not super important. Just play the game and you will get the rewards. More events and more gems, you will always take this. But one important thing is that from one of the events, you get a free 4-star weapon for win. It's an event exclusive weapon, so I think if the event ends, you might not get it anymore. Unless they rerun it or sell them to you or something. And you can also forge it up to level 6. On top of all that, we get 20 tickets, 20 coins, which is a total of 40 pools, which is huge. And you can just do that by logging into the game. I'm glad that I did this to try and compensate the speed up and stuff. Another big news is a store, a P5X store. According to them, you can buy gems from the store, like a website or something, and it's actually cheaper from in-game. At the time of recording, the store is not up yet, but on top of being cheaper, you also get some free rewards on a regular basis if you log into the store, and you also get even more rewards when you buy stuff. So this is really, really nice for those that pay money, and I'm personally really, really excited for this. This might encourage me to buy more, I don't know, but if that's their goal, they succeeded. So there's an update to Joker. So Joker is going to rerun in 2.0, which is the next update. And not only that, for new players, Joker will always be there, which means that it doesn't matter you log in today or 1 year later, Joker's banner will always be there for new players, which is pretty huge because it means that you can always reroll for Joker. Joker is a pretty good character, can really help you a lot when you start off the game. So they also talked briefly about the new pool, the new banner system, the 110 pool. They said it's coming in between October and November, so we still need to wait for a couple months. And then they're also planning to release a new Lufel business plan, which can give us the free 5-star weapon, something like that, or just more rewards in general. And then there's a few minor things, and it's the thing about the double drop. Previously, we were given only up to 4 times, which is strange because Chinese versions always had it 5 times, but they're reverting it back. Starting point 2.0, it's going to be 5 times now, thankfully. I never understood why they changed back to 4. They explain in the stream, I don't understand also. They say something about calculating based on 120 stamina. I don't understand, but anyways, at least they're changing it back, thankfully. Then there's also some sort of special promo. In late September, there's going to be a special promotion where we can get free 5-star weapon for certain characters. So that's exciting. And here's the summary of the entire thing, if you wanna pause and read. There is a bunch of huge rewards, like 3000 gems from the story, 60 Kongi Tai shards, a free weapon case, 5-star weapon case. There's a lot of gems in general. And here is another summary for everything else. There's also the creator highlight campaign, which I don't think I can join. I think it's only for Japan and US only. Which sucks because they can give you a free code. I mean, who don't want free code, right? I want free code, I want free VP, I cannot join this sadly. But anyways, that's about it for the stream. It's very exciting, a big stream, and I can't wait to play the new update tomorrow.